All right, so welcome to another deep dive, you guys. Today we're going to be looking at uh, some pretty simple English words,
Okay.
but we're going to be looking at them in a way that maybe you haven't thought about before.
Sounds good.
Um, we have a list here of some words that we're going to go through, and these are allow, announce, beside, challenge, claim, condition, contribute, difference, divide, expertise, expert, famous, force, harm, harm, shore,
Why?
peace,
Wow.
prince, protect, sense, sudden, therefore.
That's a lot of words.
It is a lot of words.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do is we're going to dive deep, and we're going to try to see how these words
Yeah.
reveal a bigger picture about how we communicate and understand the world.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I think this is going to be really fun.
Okay.
So the first thing we're going to look at is action and consequence. And the first word that really jumped out at me when I was looking at this list is allow.
Allow.
Yeah, just allow something. It seems really basic,
Yeah, it seems simple.
but I think there's got to be more to it.
I think you're right. I mean, when you think about it, it's not just about giving permission.
Right.
The word allow, it often kind of hints at like a power dynamic.
Okay, that's interesting.
You know, like who actually has the power to allow something?
Yeah.
You know, it can reveal a lot about like social hierarchies or like the balance of power in a relationship.
Absolutely. Like a parent allowing a child to do something.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And so how would you connect that to the word announce?
Well, I think announce is interesting because it's kind of like making something known publicly.
Yeah.
And sometimes what's being announced is a direct result of something being allowed or even denied.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like a way of asserting authority
Oh.
or even challenging existing power structures.
Okay, so it's like a chain reaction.
Exactly.
Someone allows something,
Yeah.
then someone else announces a decision or action based on that allowance.
Yeah, I like that.
And then sometimes those announcements are claims, which can be a little bit tricky
Oh, yeah, definitely.
because a claim is stating something is true, but is it actually true?
Right. And that's where the word challenge comes in. Claims can be questioned. They can be disputed, leading to like obstacles that need to be overcome.
Right. So you're claiming that something is true. And I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Exactly.
We have different viewpoints.
Right.
And that's a challenge.
It is a challenge.
And it kind of makes me think about the example in the dictionary
Oh, yeah.
where it says, it was a challenge to climb to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, it makes you think about like the effort and the strategy involved in overcoming those challenges.
Absolutely. And how, like, the outcome of facing that challenge can totally change
Yeah.
things,
Totally.
whether it's a personal victory or a scientific breakthrough.
Right. Or even like a political shift.
Right. It all goes back to that challenge.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've looked at action and consequence, but now I want to kind of shift gears and look at relationships and status.
Okay.
And the first word that I thought of was beside.
Beside.
I mean, just it's such a simple word, but it really signifies like proximity.
Yeah, it implies a relationship.
Yeah. And so when I think about relationships and status, I immediately think of the word prince.
Prince.
Yeah. It's a position of power,
Mhm.
often inherited, and it's
Mhm.
passed down through generations.
Right. Like a birthright.
Yeah. But power isn't always about lineage.
No, it's not.
And so we also have this word expert,
Expert.
someone who has earned their authority through their knowledge, through their skill.
Right. So it's like the difference between something that you're born with
Right.
and something that you earn and you work towards.
Exactly. And that makes me think about fame,
Fame.
because both a prince and an expert
Mm.
could be famous.
They could, but for very different reasons.
Exactly. So it's like, is fame a measure of worth?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
It's interesting because I think fame can be fleeting, right?
Right.
But expertise, that tends to stick around because it's based on knowledge and skill.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, so we've talked about action and consequence. We've
Yeah.
talked about relationships and status.
Yeah.
What's next?
Let's talk about impact and protection.
Ooh.
And the word that immediately comes to mind is force.
Force.
It's a powerful word. It can move objects. It can influence decisions. It can shape history.
Yeah, it can be a really powerful agent of change.
But it can also be negative.
It absolutely can.
And that makes me think about the word protect,
Protect.
because it speaks to this need to create shields.
Yeah, to safeguard against the negative forces in the world.
Right. And the example in the dictionary is firemen protect us from fires.
It's like taking a proactive stance against potential danger.
It is. And the condition of something, whether it's a building after a fire or a society facing political upheaval, that condition is a direct result of the forces that have acted upon it.
Right, both destructive and protective.
Exactly.
So are you ready to move on to our next theme?
Yeah. What do we have?
Perception and understanding.
Oh, perception and understanding.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, I think about the word sense.
Sense.
It's more than just the five senses, right?
Mhm. Right, it's like an intuition or like an awareness of something beyond just what you can see and hear and touch.
Right. And those senses can be heightened
By what?
by the unexpected.
By the sudden.
The sudden, yeah, so like a sudden change or a sudden event, it can make you really pay attention.
Right, like it shakes things up and it makes you more aware.
It makes you more aware of differences.
Ah, differences.
Yeah, the things that set things apart.
Yeah, and recognizing those differences can sometimes lead to divide.
Right.
A separation of ideas or groups.
And that makes me a little sad.
Me too.
It makes me think about, arguments,
Right.
but then it makes me think about the word contribute
Contribute.
because it suggests that we can choose to work together.
Right. Even when we see those differences, we can find common ground.
Exactly. The example is we decided to contribute money to the new hospital.
It shows how individual contributions can make a big difference.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
It is.
So the last theme I want to talk about is reasoning and outcomes. And I think the most important word in this theme is therefore.
Therefore.
It connects cause and effect. It's like the foundation of rational thought.
Right. It guides us to conclusions based on what we know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes those conclusions, they lead us to lay something down,
Lay something down.
to bring something to a close, to find resolution.
Like finding an ending point.
Yeah, the end of a project
Mm-hmm.
or a conflict or even just a chapter of your life.
I like that.
And hopefully that resolution leads to peace,
Peace.
a state of harmony
Tranquility.
where conflict is resolved.
And you can finally rest.
Yeah. And then peace allows for new beginnings.
It's like a cycle.
Yeah, it is. It's like
Yeah.
we started with allow and we ended with peace.
I like that.
I do too.
Yeah.
It all connects.
It's amazing how these simple words, when you really look at them, they reveal so much of how we think and how we understand the world.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how the words that we use every single day are shaping our perceptions and our interactions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deep dive into these simple words. It's really made me think about language in a different way.
Me too.
And I encourage you to just keep exploring the world of words.
Yeah, you never know what you might discover.
Exactly. All right, see you next time.
Bye.